What's up? Welcome back. I'm John Stark from MacTheMovieGuy.com, your favorite blind film critic, and today, dun, 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 it's Roofman. He is the newest superhero in the Avengers. What's his power? Roofing. He's good at roofing. This is directed by Derek Cianfrance, who brought us Blue Valentine. So, not the kind of movie that you would expect from the director of Blue Valentine. Totally on a completely different level. I've read his director's notes and he's like, yeah, I just want to do something completely different. It's like, you did it. Good job. You proved that you can explore relationship dramas in a very different way without being necessarily really depressing. Although Blue Valentine's a beautiful movie. It's just sad. It's not happy. This is happy though, because Channing Tatum's here and in a role that is just going to be thankless and get him apparently no recognition this year because he didn't get the Golden Globe nomination, and that would have been delightful to see Channing Tatum get a Golden Globe nomination for this because he's really good here. He's really charming. He's perfectly cast. I think sometimes we write off somebody who's perfectly cast in a film as being like, well, that was an easy performance for them because it felt so like them. Um, and it's like, yeah, they cast Channing Tatum, who's really good at playing nice guys, because that worked. But I also, when Channing Tatum played not a nice guy in Blink Twice, I didn't see people go, oh my God, Oscar, thank you for playing against type. Like that didn't happen. So what do you need from him? Like we didn't give him an Oscar nomination for Foxcatcher. So I don't think it really matters if he plays into his type or against it. I just think people just don't want to vote for Channing Tatum. It has nothing to do with that. He's delightful here. It's a great performance. He plays a real life guy who broke into like 45 McDonald's and then got sent to jail. And then he broke out of jail. And we get to see this whole true story unfold. And then he lives in a Toys R Us for a while and he falls in love. And how does that all work out for him? Co-starring here is Kristen Dunst. Kirsten Dunst says she plays Lee, who works at the Toys R Us. That Tatum's Jeff ends up falling for. Peter Dinklage plays the manager of the Toys R Us. We've also got Lakeith Stanfield, who plays an old army buddy of Jeff's, who is looking to get him a passport to help get him out of the country because he escaped jail and doesn't want to go back because from robbing the McDonald's, the judge threw the book at him and gave him like 45 years in jail. And then he gets the book thrown at him again. And to be fair, after the second time, he did do kind of like one thing that was a bit more than just dropping into some McDonald's, and he didn't hurt anybody. That's part of the thing is that, and you see it through, they have some like real life news footage, and like all these people who were taken like quote unquote hostage by him were all like, he was just so nice. He was so pleasant, such a nice guy. I mean, yeah, he locked us in the freezer, but he made sure we had our coats and everything on, and so that we weren't cold. And I mean, so yeah, I think Tatum is just well cast here. I've seen this movie twice now. I saw it once without audio description through a screener, thanks Paramount, and I saw it again because it was on Paramount Plus and I hadn't put out my review yet, and I was like, why not? When in Rome, because I liked Roofman enough. And it was, for me, Roofman was a film that I liked, but it didn't immediately like jump to the top of my list. It wasn't like, oh my God, this is the best picture of the year. So it's definitely going to be in my top 10. There are a couple of films this year where, based on the fact of the amount of films that I've seen and the amount of films left, I'm sure going to be in my top 10 because there are not enough films left to knock them out of the top 10. But I'm also still trying to figure out like a top 25 because I will have seen over 500 movies this year. And I think Roofman was in that zone where it's like that could be a top 25 movie for me. And seeing it a second time really helps solidify whether or not it should be. You're going to have to wait for that list to find out. But it's very charming. And I think Derek shows that he has range as a director, and he doesn't need to just do depressing shit all the time. He can do this. It's a well told, well plotted story. It's not necessarily laugh out loud funny, but it's quirky, it's cute, it's got some moments to it. He has there are a couple like very Tatum-y moments too. There's a moment where he does kind of like a laugh that he's done before in like other movies. And I'm like, that's a Channing Tatum laugh there. That's not a Jeff laugh. That's a Channing Tatum laugh. Um, but yeah, Kristen Dunst is lovely here. I think she got a Spirit nomination for this. She's somewhere. Um, and it's definitely worth your time if you it's also takes place like around Christmas, so it works as a great Christmas movie. So if you haven't seen it yet, that was another one of the reasons why I hadn't put the review out yet, is because I saw it late anyway, and I was like, well, this is kind of a Christmas themed movie. If I push it a little bit towards December, we can talk about it. And then lo and behold, Paramount Plus. I love that Paramount Plus just never announces when they're going to drop things. They're just like, tomorrow, Roofman. Like, oh, thanks for the heads up. Um, like Running Man could drop any day now. It's not even on VOD. Who knows? It's gonna be a surprise. Regretting You any day now. So if you haven't seen Roofman, you should see it. And the audio description was nice. Paramount didn't want me to stay to the end. So even though I got to hear the audio description this time, which actually offered a lot of clarity, there was stuff that in the first movie, like having to do with nudity, right? That I didn't pick up on. And the design of the room, first of all, also, like the room that he lives in, it's easy to figure out that he's hanging out in Toys R Us, but you don't know to what extent without audio description. And then with audio description, I was like, oh my God, this dude has created like a full-on apartment. Um, so yeah, I enjoyed this, and it made me laugh a lot. And I've seen it twice, and I would decide I'd see it a third time. Yeah, this is worth watching multiple times. So I think that's part of the thing too, is rewatchability when that comes into play. For films that I have seen more than once, that's a big factor too. Into like, is it one of the best movies of the year? Can it play multiple times? Um, and this slapped multiple times for me already. So sure, Roofman. I'm gonna give it an 8.5 out of 10. I do think it's one of the better movies of the year. Doesn't need to be Best Picture nominee. I would like to see Channing Tatum show up somewhere this year. Unfortunately, he did not. We need some categories with more nominees just so that we can get he can appear in more places. That's one of the things I like about Globes having the split, is that at least we can get some in years where there's sort of like an embarrassment of riches. You can actually get some nominees that would never appear anywhere else. Unfortunately, it's just a whole bunch of people. There are so many Best Actor nominees this year that it's like, yeah, that's kind of like everybody who is sort of still in the running for Best Actor. There wasn't really that like inspired choice, um, like Nicolas Cage from Dream Scenario a few years ago, right? That wasn't going to happen for him, but it was nice to see him show up there. Or seeing like a Ryan Reynolds in Deadpool, like that kind of thing. Like I miss those nominations when we get them. But that's it. That's what I got. Roofman. Check it out. Or Ruffman. I don't know how do you say roof? Roof? I say roof. Ruffman. Um Anyway, I'll see you guys on the other side.